In Mineral Wells, Texas, there's something in the water. Something in the water that once made this town a destination for people all over the world who wanted to seek treatment for all sorts of ailments. Treatment they believed was found in the water that flowed underground. The water still flows in Mineral Wells, Texas, and some of the magnificent structures built to accommodate the flood of tourists remain there as well. The history of this Texas town is tied directly to the water underground, and we're going to find it.
Texas is full of lost history, from lost cemeteries to abandoned buildings, from the infamous to the obscure. Hitch a ride and travel across the Lone Star State, looking for hints of Texas' colorful past, our lost history. This is Expedition Texas, and we're gonna find it.
In 1877, James Lynch and his wife Armanda settled in Palo Pinto County, in what is now known as Mineral Wells. After growing tired of hauling water from the Brazos River, Lynch decided to drill a well. He was hesitant at first to drink the well water, but over time, they started drinking the water. Then, a strange thing happened. Their health improved. Believing they had found some sort of miracle water, Lynch began to sell this water. Soon people would report their ills had been cured as well. Then people came in droves. More wells were drilled. Massive hotels sprang up. And Mineral Wells, Texas became a boomtown. But what caused that mineral water to become known as crazy water? To get that story, we stopped into the famous water company in Mineral Wells. Carol Elder is the owner, and she tells us about their crazy water.
So the name Crazy Water actually dates back to like 1881, and Mineral Wells was kind of a already established spa resort town. And at this time, a lady came here who was a little bit demented, and so after she would sit by the well every day, and after drinking a glass of water every day, she became a little less crazy. And so it became then known as the Crazy Woman's Well, and then the woman dropped and became the Crazy Well, and then it became Crazy Water.
But what is it about mineral water that was believed to heal?
What a mineral water is it's just dissolved minerals in the water. So we send the water off every year to have a full analysis done on it. And so it shows to have calcium, magnesium, potassium. It has bicarbonate soda in there. It has a natural alkalinity to it, which is kind of important in the world of waters, because everyone knows that having an alkaline water is better for you. And so we started just looking up, the body's use of bicarbonate soda, because that's one of the main elements in the water. Body's use of bicarbonate soda, body's use of magnesium, body's use of calcium. And then what we started to find is when your body is deficient in a mineral or such, a chain effect starts happening. And so it's really not a curative, it's just like, when your body doesn't have what it needs, other things start failing. And so then if you give your body like just basic vitamins and minerals that it needs, it helps.
And it seems that the world is once again discovering crazy water.
We started getting some requests from different grocery stores to carry it. Our first grocery store outside of Mineral Wells was like 7 Whole Foods in the Fort Worth, Dallas area. And we deliver to them every week. We hand bottle it, cap it, put a little label on it, put it in a box, tape it, load it in the back of a truck, and take it over there. So it's very labor intensive. We're still doing everything by hand here. And then it took another leap of growth. And so we started going into, different Whole Foods all over the state. And then that was kind of just our first step. And then now from there, which was about 2003 till 2020, we're in almost every retail chain across Texas. And we distribute throughout Texas, and then kind of have some fingers into Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, New Mexico, and some into Colorado.
And with that, we set out for Mineral Wells, Texas to try some of that crazy water for ourselves.
So this is the one that people came to Mineral Wells for originally?
Yes.
We're in Mineral Wells, Texas, a town that was built around the legendary water beneath it. On our first stop to learn about Mineral Wells, we've stopped in to visit with Carol Elder at Crazy Water to see what all the hype is about.
Hi Carol, how you doing?
Hey, wonderful. How are you today?
So this is the Crazy Water Company of Mineral Wells. You have, of course, the most recent incarnation of Crazy Water, but it's been around really since when?
Since 1881.
Wow. So this goes way back, and this was a national product.
So we bought the company in '99. Now we're distributing pretty much throughout the state of Texas. We have all your major grocers, Whole Foods, Central Markets, H-E-B's, Kroger's, Brookshire's, Albertsons, United.
Now, as we were preparing for the shoot, I was told the difference in some of the numbers of the water, but now it looks like you have it set up where I can actually taste the difference.
Yeah, we want you to taste it while you're
in
here.
the numbers.
So you taste for yourself the difference in all the waters. We have 3 different wells here on the property that we get our water from.
Okay.
Each one has its own depth.
Okay.
And from the different depth of the earth, you get the different combinations and levels of your minerals.
So you're not adding anything to it. This is what's there.
No, to be classified as a true mineral water, you can never add anything to it. And that's what makes Crazy Water so unique.
Okay.
So this is the number 2. It's from a well that's 250 feet deep.
Okay.
It was historically owned by Dr. Norwood, who had his whole practice and clinic based around the mineral water. So this was originally his well.
I just smelled it like I was about to taste wine or something.
Yeah, you do.
Is there a smell?
Hopefully
I don't taste anything.
So the difference between now versus long ago is we're able to kind of take out a lot of that well flavor and taste with like carbon filtration, but without taking out any of the minerals. So you get the best of both worlds.
That's very good.
So number 2 is really light to the taste. It has a good calcium-magnesium ratio and balance. It's kind of the same consistency that you get in a traditional sports drink.
Okay.
This is number 3.
Number 3.
This is my family favorite. We have this one plumbed into our refrigerator. We make ice out of it, everything. So
really? Okay, so number 3.
Number 3 comes from a well that's 360 feet deep. All right, and then this one is your number 4. So
number
this is
4.
the one that traditionally made Mineral Wells famous.
So this is the one that people came to Mineral Wells for originally?
Yes, this is the number 4. It's the highest strength mineral water, and this is really one of the strongest mineral waters bottled in the world. It's from a well that's 130 feet deep, and this one you drink just a little bit a day. Like the 2 and the 3, you can drink 8 glasses a day. This one is about 8 to 16 ounces. It doesn't harm you if you drink more, but it can be a natural laxative because your body's not used to this high of mineral content of water.
Okay, all right. There's actually a flavor to that.
It's a flavor,
yeah.
And even thicker to the tongue. Yeah. So we work with a lot of endurance athletes, and so they'll drink like a 2 or a 3 when they're training, and then some of them will come in and do a 4 on recovery. Or people even work in the Texas heat because you're sweating so much. It's just a really easy way to replenish your body of electrolytes.
That's really cool. That's awesome. So the original Mineral Wells mineral water here, number 4, which you can get. Now you guys sell these in stores all over the place. Wait a minute, this one's moving. We have action here.
This one is Crazy Fizz.
Okay.
So this is our number 3 water, carbonated. And so
carbonated number 3.
Carbonated number 3. And so this one has a light tickling of the tongue of the bubbles, not the bottles.
Very fizzy water there. It's still going in there.
So when you start with a true mineral water, those bubbles are going to be finer. So there's a lot of carbonated waters on the market, but most of them are purified water. So that bubble gets really big and harsh.
Yeah.
When you have a true mineral water, it keeps those bubbles fine.
Yeah.
You have a lot of bubbles and a lot of effervescence on your tongue, but they're not as harsh.
Now I'm a fan of carbonated water.
Nice.
This is really good.
I'm glad you like it.
This is cool.
So here at the pavilion, we make sodas out of it.
Yeah.
People use it as mixers.
Cool. I think it's safe to say I'm a fizzy fan.
You are a fizzy fan.
I'm a fizzy fan.
I'm glad to hear that.
That's awesome. So you said the wells are on the site.
Yes.
Can we see some of those?
They're just in well houses here on the site.
So just typical, we probably walked right by one when we came in, didn't we?
Yes, there's really nothing to see.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
really,
That's all right. That's okay.
Our number 2 water comes from the old Dr. Norwood well, and this is his building here. And so he built this as a clinic.
in Mineral Wells, Texas, learning about the source of the town's name and much of its history. The water that flows under the city, rich in minerals, brought about a boom when people discovered what they believed were healing properties. We've been to Mineral Wells before. A few years back, we toured the majestic Baker Hotel, probably the most decadent example of the wealth the water brought to the city. Now we're learning about the water itself from Crazy Water owner Carol Elder. We start out our Crazy Water tour with a look at the Norwood Hospital, a building that had water from well number 2 piped straight into the building.
This whole neighborhood is kind of where a lot of the old bathhouses and doctors' clinics were, and a lot of the old wells. Our number 2 water comes from the old Dr. Norwood well, and this is his building here. And so he built this as a clinic originally on the bottom floor. The second floor was his residence. And then the top floor, as his business grew, became more like overnight rooms and such. And so he had his practice here. I think he was maybe 2 or 3 generations of doctors here in the area, and was very respected in our town.
Dr. Norwood's hospital was the first hospital in Mineral Wells and featured several innovations that were the first of their kind in the area. Among those, the first X-ray machine, the first cancer education center, and the first hernia operation to be performed via injection. These all happened here in this building in Mineral Wells.
So we're taking you over to the bathhouse now.
Okay.
And so the bathhouse is on the same property that the pavilion's on. And what we've done is we've transformed an old residence into the bathhouse. So our company traditionally didn't do them. And these are the old carriage houses that went along with the house. And
really?
And so I don't know if they actually belonged to Dr. Norwood originally, or if they belonged to this house. So Dr. Norwood had his apartments and stuff on this property for all of his nurses at his clinic.
So we have bathhouse, carriage houses, and then apartments.
Yes, and then apartments.
Wow.
So where the apartments were is kind of just a shell of the building. That's where we have all of our old big storage tanks for the water in now.
So we're at the back of the building where I guess the gift shop and where people come to get their water is located now. What was this?
So this was part of Dr. Norwood's property originally. And so this was where he had his nurses' apartments and such. And then it's also where he had his well. So the tall tower that you see up there, that is where the well pipe came out. And then it gravity fed the mineral water to his clinic.
Oh, wow. All the way over there.
All the way over there.
And then stable houses, bathhouse, apartments.
Yep, that's it.
The Crazy Bathhouse. Now, you know, I've been to Mineral Wells before. We've been through the Baker Hotel. And one of the cool things about the Baker Hotel was the fact that people used to come from miles around to take mineral baths. And now they still can?
They can. So traditionally our company didn't do mineral baths, but our customers kept asking, like, we want to soak in the waters. And so about 7 years ago, we opened up the bathhouse. We plumbed the mineral waters over to here, and we did a lot of research. And so we went out, it was really hard, because we went out and we searched, visited different spa resort cities across the United States that were still doing kind of the old historic baths and such. And what we discovered, what we found out, is kind of the methodology that they used to use back in the day, in the 1800s, early 1900s, still really works, and it made a lot of sense. And so when you come here, you take a mineral bath, you soak in the water, and you'd be amazed at how different that mineral bath is than a regular water. Your skin is your largest organ, so it absorbs the minerals, and then it also just leaves you, it pulls out toxins. And a mineral has really good osmotic pressure, so it is able to draw things in and pull things out. And so when you come here, you'll take a mineral bath, and then you'll do a hot towel wrap. And so you want to pull the minerals in, pull out the toxins, and then we do a hot towel wrap to increase your circulation. And then you cool off, close off your pores in a cool mineral shower, and then we finish you off with a very relaxing massage.
That sounds nice.
It is very nice. And
I'm under some osmotic pressure to try that sometime.
well, you're welcome to come back anytime.
And how old is this?
Probably 1904 to 1909.
1904, wow.
We're in Mineral Wells, Texas, learning about the Crazy Water Company. Crazy Water is well over 100 years old, and the story is as old as the city itself. We'll continue our tour of Crazy Water in just a moment, but first, as we mentioned, we've been here before. Long ago in Season 3, we visited the Baker Hotel. Our visit to the Baker was long before any remodeling had been done. The legendary hotel was hauntingly beautiful at that time.
All the famous people that have stayed in this hotel, Lyndon B. Johnson, Judy Garland, they check in right here at this desk. You can see the original key slots. And again, as part of our refinancing and working with the Texas Historical Commission, this will be renovated and will be the front check-in desk going forward. I might note the old phone booth. Again, something that we're having to restore, and we may not be putting telephones in there, but the phone booths will stay as part of the historical significance of the hotel.
And 7 years later, as we visit Mineral Wells on this latest expedition, work has begun to bring the Baker Hotel back to life. We're here to learn about the source of Mineral Wells' name and rich history, the water that flows underground. We're visiting with Carol Elder of Crazy Water. We've toured the grounds and learned the stories. We've even tasted the water. Everywhere you look on the grounds of Crazy Water, you'll find little pieces of history standing where they've stood for over a century. So you guys have taken this stuff and you kind of brought back something really cool about the history of Mineral Wells with these baths in the water and all that. And I guess the people are starting to come back.
Yeah, we get people come back from all over the state of Texas. On a Saturday, it's not uncommon to have people drive 3 and 4 hours to come visit the site, come fill up their bottles. We do bulk vending here at the pavilion.
What is this we're about to come under here?
So this is one of the original arches that was built by Mr. Dismuke when he put in the pavilion area.
And how old is this?
Probably 1904 to 1909.
1904, wow.
Isn't it beautiful?
And what is this? It says famous, right?
Yeah, famous
in rocks.
Is in the rocks up top. And these are some of the products that he made. So Mr. Dismuke was a pharmacist before he came to Mineral Wells. And so that was one of the things that he brought to the company that other businesses didn't, is these really well-made pharmaceutical products. And this here is what we like to claim as the largest bottle of laxative in the world. And so this is one of the products, it's called Pronto-Lax, that Mr. Dismuke made. And so it was a concentrated mineral water. He'd take it and he'd boil it down to about 15 times the concentrate, and then you take either a little jigger of it or you'd reconstitute in your own water. And as you can guess, it was helped you Pronto-Lax.
Pronto-Lax.
Yes.
It worked quickly, in other words. One of the many things Mineral Wells is famous for. All right, I couldn't help but notice this big building right out in front of your store here. What is this place?
So that is the original Crazy Water crystal plant. And
Crystal plant?
Yeah, so it was built in 1919. And what they would do is some people would love what the water did for them when they came to Mineral Wells, that they'd want it shipped to them when they went back home. And so they would boil down the water. And so it's so tall and narrow because they would take the water up to the top and it would boil over, catch. And they used all the windows for the natural Texas heat and also natural gas to evaporate off the water. And then it was boiled down to a powder. It was pummeled down, put in boxes. There's a rail car line that went right behind the building. Crazy Water crystal rail trucks would be there, and it would go all over the United States.
So they would make powdered water?
Yeah, so my husband and I are Aggies, and so originally it was a big joke that we like to sell evaporated water.
Thanks for showing us around.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming today.
And next week, we continue exploring the history of Mineral Wells with a visit to the Crazy Water Hotel.
This bar served the mineral water. Imagine the crazy lady kneeling down right here, begging for her water to be drawn up for her.
Wow.
Crazy.
We'll explore more history and legends of Mineral Wells, Texas next week.